The video you're about to see is for historical purposes only. It is an almost daily snippet of 1010 Winds broadcast in New York City and the New York City metropolitan area. On my morning commute, I listened to this news broadcast and decided to share a snippet of the news for historical purposes. The mission is to record history.
Hazy sun and 62 here in the city. We're on our way to 75. When it's news time, 8:06, the Marine veteran charged with second-degree manslaughter in the subway choking death of Jordan Neely is speaking out.
In an interview with the New York Post, Daniel Penny said he is not a white supremacist and, faced with the same circumstance, would do what he did again. Penny's attorney has said his client was trying to defend himself and other subway passengers earlier this month when Neely, a homeless man with a history of mental illness, began yelling and acting in a threatening manner. Penny subdued Neely with a chokehold. He told the Post, quote, "It's tragic what happened to him. Hopefully we can change the system that so desperately failed us."
CBS's Major Garrett. Wednesday news time, 8:07. A 3-alarmer fired an apartment building in Brooklyn last night. Is it linked to another lithium-ion battery? Possibly, is what the FDNY is saying. An apartment at 74 Arlington. This is in Cypress Hills. 60 firefighters had to get over there about 9:30 last night. And the FDNY tells us 1 serious injury, but not life-threatening, 4 minor. The cause not yet clear, but fire marshals did find a lithium-ion battery. Not sure yet again if that's the cause. Or on the scene putting that together this morning. The death of 2 young Harlem boys has certainly shaken New York City, and it's really not clear what happened here.
Now that the body of 11-year-old Alpha Barry has been recovered, his family has lots of questions. His family last saw him at their Bronx home May 12th. The Daily News reports that Barry and his friend 13-year-old Garrett Warren were seen on surveillance video going through a hole in a fence which gave them access to the East River. Barry's older brother, Amadou Diallo, told Channel 7 Eyewitness News that his brother and his friend were too small to scale the fence.
How did they get to that area? That's the question that needs to be answered. You know what I mean? So was someone pushed in? Because we don't believe that could be just for curiosity. You know what I mean? What happened?
The body of Warren was found in the Harlem River. Barry's was found in the Hudson River. Funeral services for Barry are pending while his father travels from West Africa to New York. Carol Diori at 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM.
With news time 8:08. A 14-year-old boy critical. He was shot Sunday afternoon in Newark. Police say it happened about 5:20 on Boyd Street. The boy is being treated at University Hospital in Newark. Still critical this morning. No arrests, as the Essex County prosecutor tells us. He'll give us an update later today. And in Staten Island, a teen shot in the head is in grave condition. This happened Friday about 4 on Fulton Street at a playground area near the Stapleton housing project. The 13-year-old has not yet been identified. Over the weekend, Mayor Adams spoke out, vowing to find who the trigger person is. Staten Island Advance saying the teen is a student at the Eagle Academy in Stapleton. The EU has just slapped Facebook's parent company with a huge fine. In fact, it's a record fine.
A $1.3 billion fine for, the EU says, illegally storing data about European users on Meta's servers in the U.S. European privacy regulators charge that information could then be accessed by U.S. spy agencies. The ruling raises pressure on Washington to complete a deal that would allow Meta and thousands of multinational companies to keep sending such information stateside. The previous record for an EU fine was held by Amazon for advertising practices that broke EU privacy rules.
That's Vicky Barker with that report that broke this morning from London. Now this message: injured, contact Stephen Harris and the Harris Law Firm at harrislawnyc.com. Wednesday news time 8:10. The debt ceiling, that deadline's coming here June 1st. Negotiations to raise the borrowing limit between the White House and Republican leadership kept going yesterday.
White House negotiators spent about 2.5 hours with Republican Congressman Garrett Graves and Patrick McHenry in Speaker McCarthy's office suite. McCarthy wasn't there. When asked, negotiators either refused to characterize the talks or slipped away from reporters on their way out the building. President Biden, arriving back at the White House Sunday night, answered a shouted question about his phone call with McCarthy, saying it went well and that they'll talk Monday. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
We'll take a look at the forecast coming up here in just a couple minutes. It's hazy now and 62 on our way to 75. First, we got to get the traffic and transit on the ones here. We're starting off another week here. Let's see how things are doing here, Karen Stewart.
Yes, let's check out the Hudson River crossings. You're not going to like me in a second here. We've got 50 minutes inbound at the Holland Lincoln George. 5-0 inbound at the Holland Lincoln GW Bridge. So that's how I'm starting this report, unfortunately. Now, over the East River, we're starting to get very heavy at the Queens Midtown Tunnel from back to Van Dam Street on the LIE West. We've got northbound FDR Drive delays that are going to start right around 44th Street and go up northbound until you get to around 96th, and that's affecting the inbound 59th Street Bridge, which is a little bit slow. It's not bad. Northern Boulevard's pretty busy. Approaching the bridge, Queens Boulevard is not so much as far as delays. We are delayed on the northbound Whitestone Expressway slightly from the Northern Boulevard exit up to the Bronxbound Whitestone Bridge. We have slight delays coming southbound across the Queensbound Frogs Neck Bridge, and then we've got delays on the Cross Island southbound from Fort Totten Park all the way down to the LIE. Alternate side of the street is in effect today citywide, and we're sponsored by Cars for Kids. Our next report is 8:21. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Cars for Kids. No more stressing over your old vehicle. Donate it today and get it picked up tomorrow. It's the easiest service out there. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Accurate the 4-day forecast. Meteorologist Dean DeVore, I have quite a week ahead. My daughter keeps asking, what's the weather going to be like for Taylor Swift when she goes on Sunday?
Is that the one that you guys are going?
I'm not. But,
okay. Understood, Mr. Shuck. Understood. Look, this is going to be a situation we got to keep an eye on over the weekend. Right now, there are chances of rain over the weekend. I think they favor later in the weekend, Sunday and Monday. It's not a slam dunk. Doesn't seem like it necessarily could be a washout, but it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Too bad those concerts aren't during the middle of the week because it looks really dry again. We got haze from the wildfire smoke, not only for the ones in Canada, but also the western part of the United States. Wildfires are starting to get involved in this, piling up the smoke haze over us. So it looks nasty, but it actually feels pretty good out the door. Temperatures low 60s this morning. We'll get up to 75 in the city, upper 70s in the inland suburbs if you're on Long Island and along the Jersey Shore. Coastal suburbs were closer to 70. And then partly cloudy later tonight after a pleasant evening. It'll cool off into the 40s in the outlying suburbs, low 50s in the city. A cooler but nice day tomorrow. We're back around 70 with sunshine, and then low to mid 70s with sun, building clouds Wednesday. Maybe a thunder shower late in the afternoon and evening, and then back in the cooler 60s despite some sunshine Thursday. And it could get a little frosty in some of the inland spots Thursday night, Friday morning. 62 now, heading up to 75 with hazy sunshine today. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
When's news time? 8:13. South Carolina's Senator Tim Scott is going to formally throw his hat into the ring for the Republican presidential nomination. That's going to happen today. And later this week, it looks like another Southern governor is in.
Sources tell ABC News DeSantis is expected to announce he's jumping into the race on Wednesday, likely in a video message posted on social media. DeSantis considered the top challenger to former President Donald Trump, who's still the frontrunner for the Republican nomination.
Based on polls, he's not doing okay with anything.
The governor largely ignoring Trump's persistent taunts. But now, sources tell ABC News after announcing his candidacy, DeSantis is preparing to ramp up his criticism of Trump.
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien. In the meantime, the NAACP has now issued a travel advisory against the state of Florida. They say because of the state's politics.
The NAACP statement says laws championed by Governor Ron DeSantis and lawmakers, quote, are openly hostile toward African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ individuals. The civil rights group joins two other organizations in discouraging travel to the state. The Republican governor showed no sign of backing down when he was inaugurated for another term in January.
Florida is where woke goes to die.
Several big city mayors were quick to respond, saying they welcome diversity and inclusion. I'm Jackie Quinn.
A spokesperson for Governor DeSantis telling ABC News in a statement, quote, we aren't going to waste our time worrying about political stunts like these. We will continue doing what is right for Floridians. AC Sun, 62. on the way to 75.
Hi, this is Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson for the Bronx Beat.
And I am Sulma Arsu Brown, Executive Director of the Bronx Tourism Council. Saturday, May 13th, join the Grand Army of the Bronx for its annual annexation of Marble Hill. This reenactment is of the day when Bronx Borough President James L. Lyons planted the Bronx flag on Marble Hill in 1939. It happens at the Bronx Public, 170 West 231st Street on Saturday, May 13th. Don't miss out.
For more information, please visit ilovethebronx.com.
In the time it takes to listen to this ad, you could save your life. It takes less than 30 seconds to check for a recalled airbag at checktoprotect.org. An unrepaired defective airbag can explode and send shrapnel flying, even in a minor crash. Visit checktoprotect.org today to see if your car has a recalled airbag. It's fast and easy, and repairs are always free. That's checktoprotect.org.
Make sure to check your airbags, folks. We'll see you on the next Driving and the News.